Strategy and Snark presents Dungeons and Dragons Online. Welcome back. Today, we're heading to the Vale of Twilight. This is a older pack, but man, this used to be the pack. Like, it wasn't technically endgame back when this was at its height, but it was where everybody was. It might as well have been the end game. So technically, the Vale of Twilight is up one of these paths. But in order to be able to properly enter and accept the quests, or turn in the quests, or do anything of note, we actually have to go in here in the Tower of the 12. Not that guy. Or that guy. You. Yeah, so over in this little corner, not to be confused with all these other quests, because that's a different quest chain. This guy in particular, he sends you to Meridia. That is the city in the center of the Vale of Twilight. Without his invitation, I want to say you can't even enter the city. So you walk all the way out there and you go, God damn it, I forgot to talk to the guy. Okay. So now that we've talked to him, we're going to ride around the outside and figure out where... Well, I guess I can just look at the map. There we go. Vale of Twilight is in the bottom left, which involves riding up this giant, very cracked, but otherwise very, very nicely squared off ramp. Only magic could have made a line that straight. So now that we're up here, we can ride our way out to the Vale of Twilight. So we've got ourselves a wilderness area. It's been a minute since we had one of these. It's very pretty. Like, they go out of their way to make like almost the Dr. Seuss style trees here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go do the 2 new quests. This pack got updated. They added 2 quests to an existing pack. I don't know if these were intended to be free to play, but if they were, they forgot the part where you have to own Vale of Twilight to get to where the quest givers were. So I don't think that they're actually supposed to be free to play. They came out at about the time they updated these raids, though. There are 4 raids that come with this pack. There's the 2 biggies are Shroud and then the epic version, Legendary Shroud. Here's our entrance. So we had to run all the way. There's a giant lake in the center here. Get off of me, rats. There's a giant lake in the center. We have to run around the lake to the south side of the city, and then we can go in. We're just going to high five this guy. He is our contact that we're told to go talk to. You get a little XP. And then we're supposed to go help out his buddies. There's 5 of them out in various places out among the Vale. We're actually not going to do that yet. these are the 2 quests that were added. So we're going to start with Troll. So, a couple episodes ago we did the Devil's Gambit, where we followed Eritrakos around while he was gathering stuff to do something. We never actually found out what. So, another one of his lieutenants, one that I believe we saw 2 story packs ago. So the 12 have set a trap for this armored kobold. Groskin or something like that? We'll find out in a moment. They've set a trap. We're here to assist. You know, I want to say we're the muscle, but let's be honest, these guys are all wizards. Like, my 726 HP is nothing compared to the fireballs that they can throw.
Of the 12 waits to speak to you as you descend into the
so,
shouts from below can be heard in the next chamber.
We're going to go meet up with those guys. But what's this? Death Touch. Garko the Kobold has used the power, presumably of the Codex of Infinite Planes that Eritrakos has loaned out to him. And he has merged himself with a gelatinous cube. And now anybody he touches instantly dies. Not the normal cube thing of, hi, you're paralyzed and you're going to die if you don't get out or nobody saves you. No, just boop, dead.
Garko's minions bar you from proceeding further.
The other 12 guys didn't quite make it. I should say members of the 12, not 12 of them total. Fine, I will run this way instead. Stupid poison. So, Fiendish Kobolds. These are kobolds that have been powered up by Eritrakos. These are not your standard kobolds. They are slightly larger, and they have more HP. They also don't take fire damage, apparently. That is a lot of trap. Of course, I also don't take fire damage, so... Come on, Haystack. Right now, what we're doing is we are attempting to catch up to where Garko and Death Touch are. Because they've got this whole trap system set up to keep teleporting them further and further deeper into the sewers until they finally get them to a trap that lets us defeat them. Because I can't kill them. I cannot get close enough.
In the center of the chamber leads down to the lower sections of the complex.
Ooh. It's a good thing there was water there. I can't get close enough. Even I will die if I try to stab him. And there he is.
Garko slides down the hallway inside his servant, Death Touch, the gelatinous cube.
A single touch could prove deadly.
From the corrosive ooze
so we're going to let him pass. He's not very smart. I have died in this quest by getting myself cornered. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn and go through this door that has the three lights on it.
This sigil will depower Garko.
The 3 lights are not to open the door. The 3 lights are in here. There's a lever, and there's a lever. So we got to jump our way through this room to flip those 3 levers. And what that's going to do is it's going to turn on the next teleport trap and move Garko further towards the trap that we need him to stand on. Ooh, just barely made that one.
A ladder slides in place, allowing easier access to this ledge.
Oh, we need to get way up there. That was just the, you don't have to do that section anymore lever. Leap! That was close. Come on. Up, up, up. Yay! We made it. There's one. Unfortunately, can't jump straight to it, so we're going to have to go a little around. So just using my mouse to line us up nice and easy. Flip the lever as we go.
A blast of air streams upwards from the pipe below.
I think that turned on an air jet that we can use to get back up if we fall down. We need that, so we're going to jump over onto this pipe, onto this pipe. Yay, we grabbed it. 2 down, 1 to go. Just need that over there. Head back the way we came. Ooh. Look where you're going before you jump, because there's no way I would have made that. Not on this character. There we go. So, we hit all 3 of the things. The trap is now ready to go. When it says wait, it really does mean wait. He is somewhere wandering back and forth. I think he's over there. He needs to step into wherever the rituals... Oh, here it is. He needs to step on this. When he steps on this, that door will go down and we can keep going because he's going to be teleported to the next area. Doop de doop doop. Man, he is all the way over there. I'm going to stand way over here in this room, because inside this room is the only place that I know for sure he is not programmed to go. Because I want to say I stood like right there expecting to just watch him walk past, and he went doop, came down the hallway. Oops. I don't remember what hallway it was, but I've definitely accidentally got myself pinned, like nowhere to go, because I did not wait from a safe distance. Come on, what's taking you so long? Do I have to be close enough to you for you to actually exist? I mean, look at that thing. Look at that thing. Are you going to go straight across, or are you going to turn? See? He turned. I was ready for it this time, though. So he's going to come here. He's not going to come through the door, though. He doesn't actually have aggro. He's going on a certain pattern. I don't exist to him. He's just a moving trap. He's going to go turn, and he's going to disappear.
Over the gelatinous cube when Garco strikes the
so he's been teleported to a new section of sewer. We can continue. So we're going to beat up a couple more kobolds, run through another trap. And then we're going to try to set up to send him through another. We're going to do another puzzle, send him a little bit further. And step on another trap. You know, Haystack, traps are less ouchy if you don't stand in them. Even this far in the game, there's still oozes. Your Muckbane is never going to be useless. Well, I don't have it because I have the shadow ability. But okay, so here we go.
The second sigil can be seen on the far side of the drawbridge.
We are going to yeet ourselves into the water because he was just going to come and squish us. We can't lower the bridge yet. So if we would have just stood there waiting for him to go back and forth, we'd be dead. And if he makes it to there, you're getting flushed all the way back. So instead, we're going to go climb this ladder right here. And we're going to fight a mini-boss. A mini-boss of a type that I was very surprised that they put in as a regular thing for us to fight. Look at that. Actual horned devil. They usually save those boys for raid bosses and stuff, but this is a little one. You don't normally get to fight those. Don't need any of that stuff. Alright. One down.
To life as the lever is pulled. The hum of similar runes can be heard in the main chamber.
So that's not enough yet. So we're going to go into the water. And there is this open door right here. It opened when we pulled that lever. In addition to lighting up part of the trap, I think. All the way through the underwater tunnel. All right. This obviously trapped, right? Obviously trapped. So target the lever and see if you can get your hireling to go trigger it for you. Thank you for doing your job, hireling. Note, when I first was standing here, I could not target that lever. It didn't exist yet. Like even now. Okay, it's just like this. I can see the lever, but if I move the camera back, I'm too far away. So if you want your hireling to trigger the trap for you, you got to zoom in or do what I did and move over here to the edge. You'll just barely get it into camera range. Get up here, haystack. Stay. Okay. We got to hop on these pillars to get there. If you fall down there, you just have to fight a bunch of oozes. I don't want to fight a bunch of oozes. So we're going to go boing, boing, boing. Oh. Saved it. I don't want to fight oozes. We're not good at jumping. And if you're not good at jumping, unfortunately kind of too bad. There's no cheaty way around this. It's not really that bad. This game does not normally have momentum when you're in the air. So you can kind of just look straight down and just let go of the forward button once your character is over the thing you want to jump on. The trouble is, like that last jump we just did, I lagged mid-jump, and we just got lucky that I happened to land on it after all.
A lowering drawbridge can be heard in the distance. Magic resonates throughout the complex as the second
a little too far that time. Okay. We have to wait until Garco strikes the second signal to proceed. And by wait, I mean you'll probably have been doing that. Aw. Here he comes. What sucks is when you surface and he's just on his way that way. It's like I gotta wait for him to go through the whole thing. But no, he'll happily go and hit that just while we're behind him. So we can climb back up the ladder safely now. And a little bit of deadly follow the leader.
Garco curses as he strikes the second sigil. A flash of magic teleports him further into the complex.
One more puzzle and you'll be able to just fight him. More traps, more random kobolds. There's not really a lot to say about these hallways. These hallways are just there because they didn't want it to just be do these 3 puzzles. It's just hallways. Hallways with kobolds in them. Alright, is this the room? No, apparently we're not quite there yet. Is this the room? Nope, not there yet. Okay, there it is. So, Haystack is going to stay there. Which way is he going? Away. You pull the lever.
A series of symbols are etched on the ground.
So, we need to solve this puzzle while not getting melted. So, that tile is a target we have to hit, but it's a pass through, which we don't normally see. If you're really, really, really daring, you can get by him when he goes into this little section. But his little death cloud aura is pretty wide. Like, you'll think that you're not touching any of it and you should be safe, and then you'll die anyway. So just kind of, don't risk it. Just kind of turning these at not random, but kind of setting them to the way that they must be, because there's only so many. Like, the straight one has to go straight. That one's going there, so that one's going to enter like that. What I really want is this way... Oh, wrong one. This one way over here, which is going to turn... Goes up there. Just trying to solve the puzzle backwards like we always do. So that'll get both of those ones. Pass through. Unfortunately, I made a mistake. Because if I send that power that way, we're still missing that one.
The drawbridge lowers and the last sigil appears, primed and ready for its victim.
What about the one I didn't light up? Do I only have to light up the far one? But I almost got all of them. Is that really going to be the end?
The sigil fires and the gelatinous cube melts away from Garko. In a flash.
Apparently I don't need that one.
Further in the complex.
You only need the last one, apparently. Weird. I mean, I guess... I mean, there we go. That's all it would have taken. I was only... That one kind of looks like a different color, too. Weird. I don't know why you wouldn't just do all of them. In any case, we are now safe to attack the boss. What it did was that last teleport thing teleported the kobold and the gelatinous cube in 2 different directions. I don't know why they didn't just do that the first time, but they have been successfully separated. We don't even have to fight the ooze at all. We are only going to fight Garko. And by fight, I of course mean curb stomp.
Now stripped of his deadly coating.
Alright, so we're going to stop fighting him about halfway through his health. Oops. Because he summons some extra guys. Apparently not a huge deal on normal mode. But keep in mind, beat him up a little bit, clear the ads. Beat him up a bit, clear the ads. If you're on a harder difficulty and not doing AoEs. There we go. One down. An interesting little quest. And you could make the argument that it was halfway free. Like, they kind of made it to... Man, when was the last time I upgraded my rings? They kind of made it to advertise their update of this pack. That's why they added them. But they could have just updated the raid and everybody would have still went, yay. So, second quest they added. Because we get 2. Apparently, the devils have taken over this fortress. I want to say it was a House Deneth fortress and the devils attacked. So we are supposed to go, break in, and assist. Yep. Deneth stronghold. So there's a key hidden outside. Apparently it's not down here. Hello, Mr. Key.
As you round a corner of the path, the sounds of combat become much more distinctive.
So, the devils attacked. The angels responded. So for once, we aren't the only ones, answering the call. So if we find these downed angels, we can help them back up and they will rejoin the fight. If you do not help them, I believe they join the boss against you later. Iron key, there we go. Sploosh. Also, very, very handy secret thing over here. When you get, like, that key is somewhat randomly placed. There's a couple places it can be. But before we go in to the actual fortress, swim the rest of the way through this water.
As you enter the small grotto, a
strange sense of clarity flows over you. We're going to pull this lever. This ancient giantish thing turns on. Your mind is now shielded from domination. Remember the Age of Rage pack? The giants absolutely know how to shield the mind from things like the rage virus. They're the ones who built the beacon that was protecting Stormbreach, and the people who live there didn't even know it. There's also Giant Hold, right? It's not really revealed until the raid that we didn't get to do, but the Mind Crab guys were really the bad guys of... I mean, they were the true bad guys in Giant Hold.
The sounds of battle echo down from high above the courtyard.
Oh no, demon frogs. So yeah, giants absolutely able to compensate for and kill, or compensate for like mind fuckery, as long as their main guy doesn't get hit first. So we're gonna fight some evil frogs, and then we're gonna fight some evil flying things. There's actually a lot of flying things up there. I think you can actually use ranged weapons and hit some of those, but you can generally ignore it. Hey look, there's another crest right here. We're going to do a little crest hunt a couple times in this quest. The area that you are searching is relatively small each time. So like we needed 2 crests, but it was just in this little area to go up this door right here. So not a big deal. Boop, boop, done. I'm gonna just kind of hop over these rooftops real quick though, because there is one of those, I want to say fallen angel, but angel that fell down, not angel that succumbed to evil. Just angel fall down, go boom. We pick them back up. Especially because we're a paladin. Like, it almost feels like it's required for a paladin. So, see these guys? This is House Deneth fighting back against the invaders. Okay? They were dominated by the succubus. But we turned on the thing that blocks the domination for the entire area. We saved all those guys, and now they're going to assist us instead of fighting us. It's a lot less guys to have to fight. It's great to have guys I can back up to if I get in a pinch, like the hireling dies and one of these stupid blue bastards is hiding and about to shoot me with electricity or something. I can back up. Get some help. I'm waiting for this guy to come down. I've had this quest bug out on me because of things like this. He wanted to fly because some of them in this quest can fly, and they fly outside of the quest zone. Quest zone, what am I trying to say? They go out of bounds.
The battle between the Archons and the Devils rages above this courtyard.
They're already filled. That's interesting. Don't think I ever noticed that before. So we're going to go and we're going to beat a bunch of stuff up in a couple courtyards. Solve a puzzle. Kill a succubus.
One of the Archons drops from above to provide assistance.
There's also a chest hidden back here. It is locked. Ooh, an Aaron, yes. We don't fight enough of those. They are very pretty. Like the evil angel thing, the model is very pretty. They should use it more. So that angel flew down to help us, so we should help more of theirs. And she's still just aggroing. Oh, get out of here. I don't like those blue ones. She's fighting a cat. Goodbye, cat. Oh, now some of the enemy flyers have noticed me. Not enough to actually fly all the way down here, though, so we're going to take out our returning throwing axe and just hold the button down until they decide to die. Yes, come down here where I can hit you with my much better weapon. I do like that, like, just like the fires, the darkness without it being pitch black, it really does kind of give me a feel of this is the middle of a battle. Up you go.
You've sent many Archons back into the fray.
Alright.
Will be pleased.
This was just a little optional wing, I guess. Yeah. But I feel better about myself. We're a paladin. We're a paladin in the middle of a demon invasion. Of course we're going to go and bust heads. This is going to have some more guys in it. I'm looking for levers. No lever here. Alright. Where's the blue one? No blue one? Cool. All the other colors I can just kill. The blue ones are the ones that disappear and make me wait around on them. So there's Militia. Not that I can really get a good look, but we've seen her before. She was the boss back at level 5, boss of the Carnival chain. She also showed up a little bit in the one of the devil planning. Well, I think it was Trial of the Archons. Trial of the Archons. She showed up in the last quest of that one. I suspect she shows up somewhere else too. Lever. That's what you're looking for. Boop. One down. I think the other one is further down this way. Oh no. Hellcats. You guys are just red, not blue, so I don't have to do anything special. I don't know what this does. But if there's a puzzle, you usually need to solve it. Do. Well, that's not going to work. We'll go this way. Because again, working backwards, it has to go that way, which means it has to go that way. And we can't quite make that corner like that. So it has to go that way, it has to go that way, and then there's choices from there. Like, we'll just send it down. We'll go all the way around. There. Whatever that is. Oh, that lets us flip this other lever. See, we wanted that, but we needed that one to turn on first. So the main hall's porticus lines up. So we can go fight the boss now. This is not the way to the boss. This is the way to another optional. More frogs. Take that, demon frogs. Slads are interesting. Slads, I don't know which came first, but slads basically work the same way as aliens from Alien. They implant a tadpole or something into somebody else, and that turns them into a slad. Which is gross.
The stench of burning coal assaults your senses.
We're gonna kill all the frogs. Alright. Oh, Crest of the Scorpion. I wonder what that's for, since I don't think we need any crests to open the next door. I think it's already open. Am I wrong? And we just needed to go that way after all? I thought that was optional. Guess we'll find out. Take another turn. Run straight into a demon. Proceed to cut the demon into many little pieces. Go down this one. There's only 2 ways to go. More dudes that would have attacked us if we hadn't have played with that giant relic at the very beginning. Crest of the Bat. Beginning to think we needed.
This guard room is the last holdout of the Denise forces still within the castle.
So yeah, you would have had to fight all these guys in addition to the devils. We got 2 more crests. There's got to be a door here that not only did you need both levers, you also need both crests. Because House Denise thinks that is security. Is I guess if you are under the impression that you're going to have a full staff, and if somebody wanted to break in, they'd literally have to fight through every single room of the place in order to pull all the levers and get all the things. Sure. But they don't have telephones. So when, like, the boss comes in and the boss forgets his keys, does the boss have to run around everywhere? I don't think so.
It's not nice to keep a
So here's Militia.
Militia says, "Don't look so surprised."
We don't have to fight as many things in here, but she's gonna summon a bunch of friends. So she's gonna taunt us, saying that it doesn't matter if we kill her, because we have to kill her on her home plane. And it's not Shavarath, and it's not here, obviously. I believe it is Maybar, is kind of what they've hinted at, that Maybar is where she's actually from. It's only mostly true that you can't kill them outside of their plane. We could do something like what's his name? Zwabi. Back in the desert. We could anchor her soul in place and then kill her. But that would take more setup, and we're a paladin. We're not about setup. Alright. So those were the 2 quests that were added. Now for the hard stuff. There are 5 quests out there. You do all 5 quests and you get a little doodad from each one. And that lets you in here. This is the Shroud. This was the shit back in the day. This was the raid everybody did. I've even done this raid. More than once. Everybody did this raid. It's neat. It's multi-part. People get different jobs, but it's not hard to understand. And then they broke it when they updated the spinning blade things. And it wasn't fun anymore. They backpedaled a little bit on it, but the damage was done. I never went back. They have updated it now to have an epic version. That was their big selling point. Was, looky here, there's the epic Shroud, and they wanted that to be a big thing. And I believe people like it, but I've never done it. You can get some quite good gear by doing the raid over and over again. It's very, very, very finicky. Like, you pretty much have to go online and do your research for like an hour at least, just to understand how the system works, and like, that's not even counting the time it takes to choose what item you want, because it's all like a layered crafting system. Just figuring out how to make the item you want without screwing it up and having to start over. It is an ordeal. We don't do it anymore. I don't. I've made 2 green steel items. So, quest number 1. Fairly close to where you actually walk into Meridia. I believe these are all walk-ups. There was no quest giver. You can just walk straight to these quests and you'll automatically be able to go in. I usually walk in, do this quest, and then walk the rest of the way to Meridia. But yeah, this is the trickiest quest out here. There's other ones that are, I'll say, potentially harder, but this is the one with the fail condition. So, step 1, underwater maze. You legitimately walk in, you start the quest underwater. So you dive down, go through this crack in the wall, pull all the way left, and it'll take you up to the surface. That's mostly muscle memory on my part at this point. I've done these ones so many times. Back when the level cap was 20, level cap at 20, this was where you spent most of your time grinding up to 20. There were other quests. There was even a level 20 area, but it was too hard. So I mostly leveled down here. So here's one of the guys. He's one of the 12 members that we were supposed to help. He says there is a mausoleum down here, which am I going to cast my buffs? I'm going to cast my defensive buffs, but not my offensive buffs. I need my damage reduction, though. It's probably good enough. So, these are spiders. These are ogres. If you kill the ogres, you know haystack. So, step 1. Put your hirelings on passive. Just do it now so you don't forget. See this? I kill the ogres. The spiders are no longer aggressive. The ogres are controlling the spiders. And this is going to be important. Yeah, got him in one shot. There are 4? 1, 2. There's a lot of different paths in this quest, right? And it's kind of random where the keys are. We're looking for keys. So I'm attempting... Wow. I should have brought a long sword. I have a bastard sword. Nah, but bastard swords still use two-handed fighting feats. Great sword. Nope. We're going to have the same problem we did back in Necropolis. There's going to be a point in this quest where the quest says, oh no, we cannot kill the spiders. Now, it doesn't matter if I kill them now. But once my character has read a journal entry that says, oh god, don't kill the spiders are the only things keeping the Lord of Dust that is imprisoned here from awakening. Lord of Dust, again, being like big bad news. If you kill more than 5 spiders at that point, you lose the quest. You just lose. Just the end. There are 4 spiders in the boss fight. So in a perfect world, just like that annoying last quest in Necro 3, if I remember right, we want to perfect the rest of this quest. We want to not kill a single spider until we get to the boss fight. That way, we are guaranteed to not lose in the boss fight to a stray greatsword swing. Come here, rats. So, in order to help with that, we're actually going to go down every single one of these original, like this first tier of hallways. We're going down all of them instead of only going down them until we find the book we're looking for. It's one swing away. I'll still run over here and look. So we need a key to open the next set of doors. And we have to find a journal entry of one of the other 12 members, I think, before it'll let us. The basic pattern. You run down these hallways at random, find the randomly placed journal. Then the game will spawn an ogre mage, and he will have a key, and he will wander around. So you have to go find him and kill him to get the key. Use the key in any one of these hallways. So we've done that hallway, we've done this hallway, there's going to be one here, 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 and here. So you do, so somewhere in there, the key guy spawns.
The Crimson Foot
Then we do it again. We go up to the second floor, run down all of those hallways until we find a journal entry. And then once we find that journal entry, the next ogre will spawn, and we run around until we find and kill him. Oh, I got them both at once. Nice. Oh, there was another one. Yeah, crit smite. So here it is. If I pick that up, it'll spawn the ogre. So which one are we in? We're in the bottom left. I do not want to start having to pay attention. Just get bamboozled. I don't want to have to start paying attention to the spiders yet. So we're actually going to go... We're going to go clear the hallways as far as we can on the other side of the quest first, just for safety's sake. Because when we do go to the second floor, some of the second floor paths lead you up here to these spots, and then other ones lead you out here onto this long path that goes around the other side. So you cannot even just take any path. You might have to go down more than one of them. So I could have taken that key. Really? You are not sufficiently hidden from me. I could have taken that key, went through this path, and we would have ended up there. And if we're lucky, that is where the second journal would spawn. But it is not guaranteed to be where the journal spawns. And you have to get closer to it before it spawns. So we won't even be able to... We can't just run underneath and use Q to target it. It doesn't spawn enough. Or it doesn't spawn if you're not close enough. I think at one point you used to be able to do it that way, but then they changed it. So by clearing all of these passageways of ogres first, we're really just future-proofing ourselves just in case we need to go down one of these other paths. We're not putting ourselves at risk of accidentally killing a spider. Because all the spiders that you kill before you're told not to kill the spiders, they don't count. So, tier 1 is easy as long as you don't pick the book up. It's after that that's the problem. We may be trying to prevent pretend monsters from wrecking a pretend city. But when the 3-year-old has nightmares, those monsters are... They may not be any more real, but they hit a little closer to home. Alright. Obviously the key's not going to be here. The spiders are not aggressive. That means we killed everything. And there is one more little path just to be safe, or as safe as we can be. I'm probably going to, again, two-handed fighting paladin is not the character class for careful fighting. Big sweeping strikes. We're kind of built to do the opposite of protect. Maybe lever's locked. Lever is locked because these rats over here are alive. They were protecting their other rats. So, a curious, not a side effect, but dang it, didn't quite get him. Is there another one in here, or was it just him? I should have used the execute. The spiders are immune to acid damage. So, if you are a wizard and you can equip, like, acid ball, you can just spam acid AoE damage all you want, and you do not have to worry about killing spiders. Yes, you can technically just use Finger of Death to try to snipe out every single ogre. It works. But it's really easy for one of those ogres to, like, turn a corner and then, like, your targeting changes over to the spider and you just insta-kill the spider instead. Oops. The safest way to play this quest is, like, Acid Sorcerer just laughs at this whole setup. Just, oh, the things I have to protect are immune to acid? Okay, brrr. Everything's dead. We're going to switch to our throwing weapon. I'm even going to buff it a little bit because it's kind of bad. Hireling is going to stand here on passive. So even if he ends up following us on accident, he's on passive. And we are going to attempt to fight as little as possible. Oh yeah, we have to get the key first. So, now that we have picked up that journal, now, failure. Kill 5 or more Crimson Foot. Can't kill the spiders anymore. Now that we've picked up the journal, an ogre is going to spawn somewhere. First look, I'm just going to run around in the central area. Because if he spawns close enough to the center, I'll have noticed him. But no. Going to stick our head down a couple of these passageways. We're really just looking for him. He wanders down these hallways. I usually find him down like this one. I feel like is the one I more often find him. But we're just looking for him. There he is. Oh, shoot. I did not realize that there was more of those. We have made a mistake. So this is why I have my ranged weapon up. The spiders are short. So it's not too hard to just kind of jump over them. Alright, I'm pretty fast compared to the spiders, so I'm going to try to execute that guy. Okay. Did that de-aggro the spiders? Yes. Okay. He does not count as the one controlling those spiders. So since that mage and the regular ogre are dead, they walk away, and I am free to just beat this guy up now. But see, that was exactly why I cleared all of this out, was so I didn't end up in that situation, and apparently I forgot to look the other direction. And we're waiting on the guy who's very obviously standing right there. There we go. Key, mine. Now we can go to the upper level. I'm going to go this way. There's basically 3 upper ledges. There's the one that connects these far left two. There's then this corner and this corner. So we have a 1 in 3 chance. But I feel like Oh, hell. There it is. The journal entry. Hell yes. So right by the shrines is one of the places it can spawn. We 100% know where it is now. Nice. So we're definitely going this way. Hey, Haystack, throw me a heal. Now we're switching back to good old hand axe. Do not forget to check your gear for any items that have a chance of killing things when they hit you. Stuff like Trap the Soul Guard, potentially my freezing ice that I know is on my shield. I'm just double checking. I don't see anything else. So yeah, see that freezing ice guard? I do not want to do any damage at all to those spiders on accident. So we're taking the shield off. And we're basically going to try to fight as little as possible. So if we can target, say, that ogre, I'm only throwing when I jump to make sure I'm taller than the spider. Thankfully, the spiders and the ogre are very different sizes. Alright, these spiders are no longer aggressive. If I run forward too fast and they get within range of another ogre, they will become active again. Pretty sure I've seen that happen. So I kind of like to sit here until they fully despawn, because once they go neutral, they will just disappear and they're not even in the quest anymore. So they will probably pop out of... There we go. They just popped out of existence. They are no longer any sort of threat. Now we're going to just start throwing at this ogre way over there. There isn't even a spider in front of him, so I can just... Oh, now there is. It's near. Now I'm going to target that one. We don't really want to be throwing uphill because we don't want the spiders to get hit. We much prefer throwing downhill. Alright, there we go. Just gonna poke my head up here. Wave at the spiders. There's probably ogres right on the other side of this door, so we're going to wait for these guys to pop out. Oh, Haystack needs health, too. Haystack was apparently tanking some spiders for us. Good job, Haystack. There's a non-zero chance that they just went stealth and I can't see them, but... So the dangerous thing is going to be the ogre mage. Because he's very difficult for us to take out using such a low damage weapon as the throwing axe. Fortunately, off the top of my head, I believe there's only... Ooh, we hit that one. See, look, they only have 100... One of those even only has 96 HP. It's not a lot considering we're doing like... almost 40 a hit. Alright, so we gone around here. We're halfway through this path. There's another ogre up there. Oh, got two ogres. Come on. There we go. Target the ogre. As long as they're behind me, I can just kind of slowly move forward. Keep them behind me. Come on. Get out of the way, spiders. Come way down here so I can jump over you and throw at this guy. There we go. Spiders are no longer aggro. I feel like we're getting... Got a little bit more to go. This is the nervous part of this quest. Because if you clear the bottom floor and then pick the key up, you don't typically have to worry about it. And there aren't really any spiders after this upper ledge. There's the 4 in the boss fight. But section 3 of the quest doesn't have any spiders. So if you can get through this section in particular without killing the spiders, you're in good shape. Alright, we know it's right here. So we actually only have to go that much further. I want to say there's going to be another door in my way. There's an ogre. Once we see the ogre mage, I'm going to try to make a run for it. I'm going to see if I can just run past him. Get to the journal and then jump down. Because he probably won't run all the way through the cave to get to me. No ogre mage. I'll take it. I'll take it. The ogre mage was the thing I didn't want to have to fight.
Another journal
Boom. Journal entry.
His journal informs you of
One of the missing 12 members says the queen is very important. Alright, well that's probably why she's locked in here. She's important. Gasp. So now we do the same thing we did last time we found a journal entry. We wander around until we find the ogre carrying the key. And this whole quest would have been a lot easier if he was the one we got first. Let's see if he just... Let's check the same one as last time. Still leaving him on passive because I don't trust him. Nope. So let's go check the other side. I don't know why I'm pushing Q. I can't target enemies with Q. Oh, there he is. And... Ah. Didn't get him. Okay, we killed him. We got a nice, I think that was a crit maybe that dropped him. Didn't have to wait for him to do the whole disappear and then stare at you while I stare at him because I have true seeing. Alright, we can kind of relax for the rest of the quest. We need to now protect the queen from a little bit of a wave fight. Ogres are going to come charging down this way. There are no little spiders to worry about. So we just kill the ogres until the mini-boss spawns. Easy peasy. I will even cast the rest of my buffs. Because at this point, I'm not worried about anything. Now, you do need to protect the queen. If I were to ignore the queen, like she is taking damage, and I do not have a great way of getting up there to kill the ranged guys other than literally stand in front of the queen, I can actually tell the hireling to heal her. So we're going to get aggro off of these guys by hitting them one at a time until the hireling decides to laser them anyway. by standing physically in front of the queen, I am also blocking some of those arrows from hitting the queen. And throwing weapon again. It's just a wave fight. Just kill enough guys. Don't let the queen die. Don't let the queen die is still so much easier than don't let any of the little guys die, because the little guys die so fast and we can hurt them. Compared to the queen, that the queen is considered an ally. I don't know how the queen knows that we're here to protect her. But I guess, you know, the other spiders are actually not aggressive. If we... What are you doing way back there? I mean, that's fine. It's just weird. The other spiders were not aggressive. Like, once you get rid of the ogres, they go back to not being aggressive. So I guess she's also just not aggressive. Since we're not doing anything to her. Rolled a 1 on hold person. Oh no, a Rakshasa. His name is Kaklumgal, which is a hilarious name. Because it is KK, OMG, LOL. And I have totally used that name as a random, like, evil demon-y name. Like, yeah, you're playing the game, right? You see it on the screen and you go, okay, come on, you're dumb. But man, you pull that out in a paper D&D game, like, Kaklumgal. They're like, how the hell do you spell that? KKOMGLO. Halfway through, they're just going to just table flip and walk away. It's awesome. All right, so with the queen properly defended, there was a little earthquake, some shifting of stone, and this hole has appeared. We can drop down the hole, feather fall right over the traps. You can turn the traps off for the rest of your party. And we're going to take out a couple more Rakshasa. And we're going to go find some runes. I don't think these change. So I think you could probably memorize these. Or have them written down somewhere and not have to go look for them. But I don't have them memorized. So we got orange, backwards F. Then we've got... There's one down every hallway. Blue H. And we've got... a couple guys that need killing. I think this is red. Hello, random named guy who got stunned by something. Oh, right, my auto crit. Or auto stun on crit. Red pound symbol. And now we're going to go through the door. You needed the key from that named guy. And here is the boss. So the boss is in the force field. So we can actually kill all of this other stuff first. Like, you don't have to rush anything. Just kill all these guys off first. No point in doing more work than you need to. Wow. Alright, red was pound symbol. Orange was backwards F. And the last one was the blue H. So when I turn that one more time, that force field's going to go down, and we have to fight. We win the quest when that one is dead, I believe. The big one in the fancier outfit. But look at that. Spiders. This quest is kind of harrowing if you accidentally killed any spiders earlier, because there's your fail condition right there. Now, we haven't killed any, so I could just fireball that whole group. No problem. So I'm going to hopefully draw the spiders away for a moment. And we'll see if I can manage to kill him without just killing all of them. Did I successfully save any of them is going to be the question. One! We saved one. We saved one. I could have done it the long way and pulled out my throwing weapon. I could have. I saved one. Behind all of this is where you're going to get your treasure chest. Do not forget to come here. You need the Shavarath Stone of Strategy. You need that little rock from all 5 quests to get to do the raid. Locust Husk is one of the crafting ingredients for this area. If you want to make a green steel item, they are very customizable and have some nearly unique effects on some of them. They're good. They're just a lot of work.
This hidden entrance is a convenient, if wet, back door into the Crimson Foot.
All right. Let's go do the easiest quest. We're kind of just going to go in a circle. There's nothing else on the top. If you kind of put the quest into quadrants, top left is the spider quadrant. The quest is in the water right there. That's the only quest. There are 2 quests out here in the top right segment of the map, which is the devil section. This is all like dark, twisted landscape because this is where the devils have started to, their influence is spreading. As opposed to the bottom left, where it's lush and pretty and nature abounds. Because that is where the elemental plane of lots of nature is. It's bleeding in over there. It is a really quiet. A little too quiet. I think my audio shut down. But hey, as long as the mic's reading green. All right. Quest number 1. Cats. I guess we could knock a few of these things out for. We might hit the lowest level slayers. We really don't need XP though. Look at this. I'm level 18 and I haven't even I'm level 19. I just haven't taken the level. We're gonna be level 20 very, very soon. Really, web. The Eladrin Stronghold. I usually end up doing this one last, because I usually do a circle the other direction. I'm going to do this one second this time. Running with the Devils. All of the quests out here, their titles are nods to old rock songs. And if you immediately went, what? They're not that old. So I had only heard 2 of the 5. I think I still haven't even heard. Like, one of them is actually a pun on it, so I don't 100% know which one it is. But Running with the Devils, it's specifically... I want to say it's AC/DC. Now I have to look it up. Lyrics. Van Halen. That was close. They're contemporaries, right? So, we talked to a 12 member, right? Apparently, the Eladrin have captured the other one. We're going to come in here and rescue him. These guys are saying that they detect evil, and they're going to attack us. You see that immune popping up? They are immune to my good damage. You know why? They're good. We have been cursed, and we look like devils. Oops. So they think that we are invading devils, and they will attack us. So, you don't normally fight good aligned things, so a lot of your abilities are going to be a little muted. They don't take damage from holy or pure good weapons, which is something you probably have. These Gahales, they have damage reduction. Well, actually, all of these guys have damage reduction, I think. But they all can cast spells. Specifically, there are some that are marked cleric. I think like that one's probably a cleric. That tornado thing they're doing, I believe they also have displacement up. So if you don't have true seeing, the cleric, here it is, Gale Cleric, it will cast healing spells. So if you don't have true seeing, and it's taking you forever to beat these things down, you can get stuck in a loop. Because they don't have SP. They don't have magic points. You could get stuck, like, fighting one of those clerics, and you can only get it down to half or so because it's got displacement and you didn't bring a big weapon that can hurt good things through its damage reduction. And it just casts heal whenever it gets to half health. Forever. Air elementals are more annoying than dangerous. Yay. I climbed up here to hit that lever. I'm pretty sure it's the left lever. Really? I'm gonna hit both levers just to be safe. Goodbye, Nishan. Turns out Nishan is not a name. I vaguely remember reading somewhere that Nishan was actually just another type of genie, not a name of a specific one. So we jump down. This is the door we just opened by hitting those levers. Now, big whiff on the cleave. Look at all those spellcasters. All their little tornadoes. There are also devils invading. There is an optional you can do where you run down a different hallway and you head off a devil invasion and you actually take all of them out. Not that anybody will thank you for it. Stupid whirlwinds. Don't like the enemies that just turn themselves invulnerable and make you wait for them to come back. I feel like you should, if you have true seeing, you should be able to just keep hitting them. Or like the genies or whatever, if you should be able to like cast hold on them or something just to force them to stop. Give me something instead of them being invulnerable.
Another skirmish between the devils and the
See, there's another Nishon. He's not, that's not his name, that's his race? Type? I was going this way anyway. All you did was make me go here faster. They're down. You attackable yet? Thank you. So many groups. Of course, again, power creep has made this not as hard as it used to be. I mean, I'm a paladin and I'm still crunching all of these.
sound of claws scraping earth.
I say this is the easiest quest because it's literally just run to the end. There's no... I mean, the gimmick to this one is you're fighting good guys and you were cursed. But there's no thing you really have to watch out for other than making sure you can actually fight the enemies. Like, if you're having trouble fighting that first room's worth of gales and stuff, then you might need to come back with a bigger sword. But if you make it through the first room, no problem. Yeah, you'll sail through the rest of the quest.
West is raised. Find a way to drop it and continue your rescue.
It's refreshing is what it is. So that's the optional. You run down there, you fight a bunch of demons. Devils. Both? At least devils. I don't know if Eberron has the same devil versus demon, they hate each other, always at war thing going on. I don't know. I didn't mean to use my cleave attack. Oh well. Alright. Kill the guy, pull the lever. The lever opened. Or dropped that bridge. So we can just drop straight down off of the bridge we're on and continue forward. And I want to say we're near the end of the quest.
Sounds of battle emanate from the
So we are going to do a multi-phase boss fight. So step one, we're going to fight some Eladrin. There's the guy we were sent in here to rescue. Bonkity bonk. This guy can heal himself, and man, there have been times where I didn't have enough damage to get through his damage reduction, and man, that was a long fight on auto attack, just hoping he didn't spam his heal too often. That was a while ago. Alright. Obviously, he's actually a bad guy. So we're going to talk to him, and we're going to run away. I'm going to run into this cave over here, because he is actually summoning a bunch of his devil friends to come and attack us. And they're all named guys. So we run in this corner, kill one. 4 left. Going to come out here and aggro the Orthon. Hi, Orthon. Now you can see that they came from 4 different places and then they walked up them stairs. Hey, Orthon. So the main one is still up there. But because we weren't in that room, we didn't get aggro. So they just walked back to their spawn point. So you can fight these guys one at a time instead of 5 at a time. 3 down. For some reason, this tiefling, he's not a red name boss. You can use insta-kills on him. I don't know why. The other ones are all red name. You can't insta-kill them. And then, of course, beat up the guy who caused all of this. And because we took out the spellcaster, we are no longer cursed. Alright, so there's the thingy we need. There's the material. And what? That is a very odd item to find here. Gauntlets of Ogre Power. That's weird. It's weird because it's a level 9 item and it's blue. That background means it's a named item. So these are supposed to be the Gauntlets of Ogre Power. Strength +4 at level 9. I don't know if that's good anymore. I'm leaning towards no. But why would it be dropping here? Weird. Alright. 2 of the wilderness quests done. 3 to go. And 2 of these are kind of unnecessarily long. The worst quest out here by far is this next one. To the point that some people just won't do it. That is a much bigger pile of things chasing me than I thought there was. And now they're all dead. This, interestingly enough, this thing right here, this is a rare encounter. If I sit here and beat this thing up, I'll get some XP and it'll count as a rare. Things will spawn. And they will die. Let's try to damage it a little faster. So, the raid out here, the Shroud. The first phase of it has a bunch of these little planar gateways that you have to run around and beat up. People used to carry around, I want to say it was anarchic weapons to do chaos damage, just to help break some damage through these things. You had your portal beaters is what they called them. I think they also count as constructs. Yeah, so you could also use like smiting weapons, I think. Well, the new version of smiting that just does damage on crit if it doesn't do the insta-kill. So everybody, there was a point that you used to have to link, you had to send proof that you had the right weapons to the guy leading the raid so that you weren't just being carried by everybody else. You used to also need your silver of pure good weapon or they wouldn't let you in the raid. And I remember they used to say, hey, if you don't have at least 400 HP, you shouldn't do this raid. Which was dumb because the fighters usually had way more than that. And if you didn't have more than that, it was because you were a rogue or a monk. So you could only get to like 350 easily. Like you could push it farther. It's like, I remember I was on a monk and I was like, why am I going to go out of my way to like where nothing but HP items to get to whatever your HP threshold was to run the raid, at the cost of my actual stats. I'm a monk, I have evasion. I'm not taking damage from the things that you're afraid of. At least until they changed the blades. So, this quest here, in this temple, okay? Here's the temple. How do you get up there? There is no ramp around this entire little dirt thing. There's no ramp. This little crack right here, you can run up. There's nothing saying that that works. It doesn't work anywhere else. If you try, you just slide down. It is specifically this crack right here. It currently has a little shield discarded on it. It's much smaller looking than the rest. It's a much smaller jump. I don't even have to jump. I just pushed forward. And the quest is down there. But you might as well jump in this puddle. Because it's an explorer. So jump in the puddle for free XP. Then we'll go into the Coalescence chamber. This is the one that, like, the name of the song is something that's actually like a pun or only partially in this title. I don't even know which one it is. I don't know what the song is. Alright. This genie wants us to clear the entrance of bad guys so that he can focus. We're not going to bother. If you do so, I think you get an extra chest at the end. I don't care. We're just going to run past him and jump down this hole. Because I don't want to be here any longer than I have to be. Of course, you didn't used to be able to hold shift to disable Featherfall. You used to actually have to take your item off and put it back on to go down here any slower. We're going to be seeing a lot of dungeon alert, and it is only going to be partially my fault.
Now I can concentrate on cleansing this area.
If you... So this is not a maze, but it has some of the most frustrating jumping and a ton of backtracking. You have to run the entire quest, like you have to cover the ground of the entire quest twice. And you can't even fudge it by having multiple players in the party. Like, you can maybe have some people not have to run the whole thing, but everybody's got to go. Nobody likes this quest. Some of these doors are trapped. They have little force traps that go off for a long time. Boing. What do I even say about this quest? So the main problem is there's two little corkscrew paths you have to take to climb up these cylinders. Cylinders isn't the word I'm looking for, but I can't think of the actual word I want. Not elevated. Shaft. Shaft. That's the word I want. There's two main shafts. You have to climb up both. And they involve these little tiny ledges. Alright, get out of here, bats. So we're going to climb. This is the first shaft. We're going to climb, climb, climb. If you fall down, you got to start the whole climb over again. And there's troglodytes with bows and arrows shooting at you. There's troglodyte casters casting at you. There's bats. And most frustratingly of all, jump physics. So remember, in this game, when you're in the air, most of the time you have no momentum. However, if you were to jump and bonk your head on, say, one of these ledges that you have to, like right here, you have to jump near them. And if you were too close to the wall, the angle of it's going to go boop and push you out, and you'll fall right down the middle of the shaft all the way to the bottom. Even though you weren't doing anything wrong. So my advice is do not jump unless you have to. Just try to hold the run button up against things. Like, obviously you have to jump the gaps. But like right here. Nope, I have to jump. But when I get up here, I don't have to jump to get to this next one. I can walk, keep my feet on the ground, and not have to worry about accidentally hitting my head on a stalactite and go flying. There we go. We've reached the halfway point of that shaft. It actually goes further up, but we can't walk any further because there is no ledge. So we have to cut across to the other shaft, climb the rest of the way up, and then go farther. All the while being attacked by waves and waves and waves of bats and scorpions, not to mention the actual troglodytes. There's a lot of bad guys in this quest. Now watch, I'm going to go the wrong way trying to get to the second shaft. We're going to have a lot of dungeon work, because I'm not killing everything in the shafts on the way up. I just don't have a good enough ranged weapon to be bothered. And they spawn so many things in this quest. Yeah, this was not the way I wanted to go. There's just so many. Those bats spawn a dozen at a time. Dungeon Alert gets tweaked now and then. This quest, even back in the day, this quest would trigger Dungeon Alert. Even before they ramped up Dungeon Alert, it triggered Dungeon Alert. It's just a bunch of bats chasing me, bunch of scorpions. There's been some arguments over the years over what actually triggers them. Some people say that if you don't touch the dirt-looking patch, the scorpions won't spawn. So just stay on like the actual stone texture floor. I have not tested it. But it doesn't really cost you anything to try to stay on the rocky texture. And there's a chance that you won't have to fight scorpions. So this is shaft 2. It's not as big as shaft 1. Drop down to kill you. Just pushing forward to try to climb. See, here's a shitty jump. If I bonk my head, I go flying. So I have to make sure I've got enough clearance before I try to jump. Oh, actually need up there. We'll go around it. Just push forward till he climbs. Push forward till he climbs. Kill him. More bats. Just pushing forward. No jump there. Walking everywhere I can. Trying to get the game to do a climb. It's not going to happen there. Don't get ahead of yourself and jump over things when you can just walk. What did I miss? Oh, I need to jump on that. Okay. So we're going to drop down onto this guy's head. Already caught under a ledge. Good thing I didn't jump or it would have shot me into the middle. More climb. More trying not to push the spacebar button. Fine. Alright. Should be pretty close to the end of shaft number 2. Push and climb. There are gems on the ground scattered all over. People say that every time you pick up a gem, it's going to spawn bats. So people say don't pick up the gems. I don't know how true that is. Alright, we're finally out of shaft 2. Now we can continue along this path, make our way back to shaft number 1, but now we're higher up. This quest would be much improved by use of the fly spell. It's like, come on, just let us fly. I get why you can't fly in this game. I get it, I really do. It would break every single quest. Bats. How much would it really break, though, if it was like, oh, if you have 4 past lives, you can fly if you're a wizard? Just make sure it has to be an experienced player. Just let him fly. Let him fly. I feel like it's not going to be this. Oh, it is this way. Here we go. Lever. Through the gate. There's another lever and another gate. We're just gonna... Nah. Ah, bats! Okay, bats. How do I work? Hey, they opened the door for me. Thank you. Technically a 3rd shaft, but this one you literally just drop down. Hello, only shrine in the quest? Well, I mean, there's some at the... I want to say there's some in the very first room. But you have to have Dimension Door to get up there. You gotta be really, really stingy with your spell points in this quest. Because there's just so many things to kill. So if you're a wizard or a sorcerer, you gotta be very mindful of not wasting all your mana, because there's just that shrine. Now I believe we are right back to the first shaft. Once we are done killing all of these guys who are just in my way. We have already killed 165 monsters. We haven't even begun this quest. It's a very unnecessarily long quest. Man, and I thought we were closer to the other shaft than we were. Should be coming up on it soon, though. We're also going to get stopped cold by that dungeon alert as soon as it goes off. Because of bats and scorpions that spawn behind me. Climb, climb, climb. Not even going to chase that guy down. If he wants to fight, he'll come to me. Are we there yet? Okay, there's the shaft right there. Once you're on the upper half, you really don't want to fall down. If I fall down the middle of that shaft right now, I literally have to do everything again to get back up here. So the very, very first thing we're going to do is we're going to flip this rune. That turns on some gas jets. And those will let us shortcut back up. So if I do fall in the middle now, I have a way to get back up here that is not go all the way around. There are 3 doors in this shaft. 2 of them need keys. The one at the tippy top, that's the boss. The one at the very bottom has a key. Unfortunately, not to the boss door. It has the key to the door that behind which is the key to the boss. And then there's a middle one on this shaft, and the middle one is what we're after. The middle one is not locked, and that's where we're going to get our first key. Once, you know, we get all the way up here. It's like climbing a screw. Just over, over and over and over, getting slightly higher each time. Pushing instead of trying to jump. Okay. This is our first stop. Note that it continues up. So this middle door is actually like 90% of the way to the top. It's the only door that's not locked. So now we run to the back here. The genie even sends us a telepathic message saying, hey, don't kill that guy, question him. Sorry, this is an action MMO, like I can't choose not to kill him. One chest is key. Other one is treasure. This key goes to a door at the bottom of shaft number 1. Near the bottom. So we're going to purposefully featherfall. Taking all these hits. If you have invisibility, cast invisibility and then jump down. I'm using Q to try to target the door so we can land right in front of it instead of having to look for it. Long way down. Ooh, door. The door is right there. Float right up to the door. This is locked door number 1.
Dumb as they look, they are certainly leading us on a wild kobold chase.
So we're going to run in here and get another key.
Okay. I have a feeling you won't listen to me even if I tell you to interrogate Brock.
We have red dungeon alert. Because it counts all of those archers shooting us on the way down, even if I had a bow, right? Even if I had really good range damage. I'm still just floating past everything. Do they really expect me? Well, I'm lagging there. Do you really expect me to climb my way down? No. Alright. Key number 2.
We seek answers, but I fear we are getting more and more questions.
Key number 2 goes to door number 3, which is in the other shaft. I'm gonna get pissed if I have to restart this quest because my internet goes out again. So now we have to climb. We don't have to climb quite as far. There is a air jet right here. We do kind of need to aim though. Okay. So how far up did we go? Not that far. We did not go far enough that we can't just bounce up again. So this spot here, with nothing to land on, that's the dead zone between the first time we climbed this shaft and then when we came back after the second shaft. You want the dead zone, because that lets you know you're near the top of the bottom section of that shaft. Now we're going to retrace our steps and work our way back to shaft number 2. Hopefully not getting super killed by all of these bats that are going to super slow us down. Because we're in red dungeon alert. There's only one door in shaft number 2. So at least for that, we're just making our way back up to the very, very tippy top of shaft number 1. So we kind of have to go this way to get back up there anyway. I mean, we could take the air jets, but without the shortcut, you'd have to go up this way anyway. So using this key is kind of just on the way instead of like having to go super out of the way. Honestly, for being honest, nobody likes this quest. I feel like just move the keys. Make it so the very first door you pass is the first door you're supposed to go in. And it has the key for the one we're heading towards. And this one has the key for the one that we could go in first. So you only run the quest. You only run the map once. The keys are just in order. That's what I think they should do. Then people won't be quite as sour about this quest because you don't have to do all of this stuff twice, at least. We've already been here. We've already jumped on all of this. Don't make me do the quest twice. I don't play this quest anymore. I don't have to. I don't do Shroud, which means I don't need the item. And if I really, 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 really wanted to, I'm already flagged on my older characters If I really wanted to run Shroud, I would do it on one of the older characters before I would try to flag a new character. I could do it on this character. I'm going to have all the pieces. I could run Shroud on this one. For sure. I'm not going to. Alright. This is a trap. It's an amusing trap, but it's a trap. You stay over there, Haystack. There's an adventures pack. You'd think it has the key. Oh no! Gelatinous cube. It is taking way less damage than I thought it was going to. Like, come on, Cubey. Alright, I'm going to cast my acid resistance on me and on him. Oh, man. You see that? Alright, this is probably not the best time to be looking at that, but... my little bar at the bottom says maximum heroic XP achieved. Apparently, I'm not level 18 and I'm ready to be 19. I'm level 18 and I'm ready to be 20. Already. We haven't even finished the level 15 quests. 3/4 of the way through the levels, or the quests based on level. Give or take, some of the chains extend beyond their own level. Like, this is a level 16 quest. Still, roughly 3/4, max level. First life. We've got 5 more levels worth of stuff to do. Max heroic level. We still have the epic to do after. Anyway, the cube ate the guy who had the key. We killed the cube, we took the key. We keep going. That cube has a lot more HP than I remember it having. That cube is actually very, very dangerous because it's so big. It'll kill your hireling really easy because the hirelings are kind of dumb. See how he's just standing there where he can get hit by everything? Whereas I'm back here. So, a couple extra troglodytes spawn after you fight the gelatinous cube. You have to kill these ones. A member of the fiendish ambush party. I have to kill the rest of these guys. Or I cannot continue. Well, I can continue, I just can't beat the quest. I have made that mistake before of leaving one of these guys alive. Do not do that. You want them dead. Feather fall down to this guy. Okay, we have slain all of them. It's off the objectives. No longer have to worry about that. We're pretty close to the end of this quest now. We have to... more... Ooh. No. I know this is the small shaft, but I still don't want it to fall. Get out of here, bats. Now we head again back to shaft number 3, which was just that little one we get to jump down. Right? Way easier. I guess technically it's 4 if you count the shaft we came in right at the very beginning as a shaft, but I don't. Turn right. Through the supplies. Really? Just... that bat was just like, how dare you open that door? And then that bat opened the door. I do like these guys as fire swords. I also like that that bat opened the door for me. These are very polite bats. away we go. Down to the shrine again. Fight our way back to the first shaft again, and then we climb all the way up. All the way up to the very tippy top. You could maybe use the air jets. Like, as soon as we got this last key, you could potentially dimension door, run back to the bottom of the first shaft, and just count on the air jets getting you high enough instead of having to walk. But it's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. There's so much running in this quest. And we get to start higher up, so if the air jets can't get you as high as you'd want, because I have had those air jets send me all the way to the top before. But that was lag jumping on purpose. Just trying to step on the thing at the same time that it lags and you go whoosh. Kind of like what we were trying to do in the pit. Same idea. If your connection's actually a little spotty, sometimes you get those super jumps. Not that way. Or is it? Around this rock. Here we go. More bats. We're almost there. Really? The last one had to miss? Now we get to climb this again. Because wasn't this exciting the first, 6 times we had to climb up a bunch of narrow ledges? But it's okay, because there's respawning monsters to keep us company. The Theurge is casting Dispel Magic, which is rude. Fortunately, it is easier for them to cast down than it is to cast up. Can I climb on that, or do I? Stupid bat, get out of here. Go. So if I can get above the spellcasters, they kind of stop mattering. How are you mortally wounded and still just sitting there? Okay. Well, like that. I only mortally wounded him. Finally killed this stupid Theurge. More climbing. More no railings. OSHA would have a field day with this place. So here's the door we got our first key from. We're going to continue climbing. All the way to the tippy top. Again, don't push the jump button unless you actually have to. Especially at this point, you do not want to bonk and fall all the way to the bottom. Note here, if you've been hugging the wall, there's a gap on this very last little one here. Mind the gap. I'm going to have to jump this stupid little bit. There we go. No more climbing. We're on solid ground. Just gonna refresh some of my buffs that got dispelled by those guys. Whew, here we go. The boss is just a tiefling. Like, the boss is nothing.
With inhabitants of the Vale of Twilight.
It's like he's got minions. That's it. It's like after all the climbing we've done, like I'm not concerned about the boss. Like I killed all your friends. I climbed your stupid mine twice. This is my mine now, and I'm gonna flood it so that no one else can ever be stuck in here. Don't ask me why, but there's a bunch of gnolls just like in prison. You can't do anything with them. I got some chipmunk funk. The Stone of Victory. We out. That was half an hour of climbing shafts. Alright, the worst one's over. Worst one's over. We're now going to go into the bottom right section, which is the Knoll section of the map. There's one quest. It's it has... I will preface this by saying the next quest does not have randomly placed objectives. The problem is I forget where things are, and I end up running back and forth across the map for twice as long as I need to. If you know where the objectives are, the next one's not really that long. To get to the quest, we are here in the bottom right of the map. Let me stop for a second. So here's Meridia. So down and to the right, way over in the corner, past where the devils are supposed to spawn. We need to climb this cliff. There's the Twilight Canyon. We need to follow these switchbacks in order to actually get up there. Which, really, air elemental? Get out of here. No. Go away. No. No. Here we go. Beginning of the switchbacks. Don't turn too soon, or you'll just end up on a ledge. You need to go even further. You want the second turn up the switchbacks. Because why wouldn't you need to go all the way to the end of the world? Then you take the second left. Again, don't fall off or you have to climb up again, but it's, you know, oh no, 20 seconds of running instead of, oh no, another half an hour of climb. Ritual sacrifice. This is basically a Gnoll city. We are going to take them all out. We are going to rescue / assist the member of the 12 that is here. For the most part, this quest is just run for it. Kill all the things. There's no gimmick to this one that you have to be aware of or you lose. The only annoying thing is that we're gonna have to fight 5, I think? There's 5 of these guys. Mystics, I think. You have to kill all 5 of them to be able to go through a door. And it's very easy to miss one of them and have to wander the entire quest trying to find like the one named guy that you missed. That's the only thing about this quest. So, there are going to be multiple instances of needing to pull both levers to open doors, which is a lot easier when you don't have an air elemental pushing you away from the lever, or, you know, archers. There we go. One down. Colorful beams. Doesn't do anything if you miss. Why are you not healing yourself, Haystack?
As the last lever locks in place,
I pushed the button to tell him to heal at the same time he was actually going to heal himself, which canceled his heal. Alright, now that both levers are pressed, there should be a door. There it is. Nope, that's the door we came in. Should be a big old door opened. Ah, that door. Because we came in that door. Can't be that door. That door. Can you see it from here? Yeah, so note those bridges and stuff. There is, again, a lower section and an upper section to this quest. I'm pretty sure all of the mystics are on the upper section.
the mountainside.
But if you are on the upper section and you fall down, you have to walk all the way through the goddamn quest to get back to the ramp up again. Because there's not a cheaty way back up. You have to walk all the way back. And it's about as fun as it sounds. There's no respawns in this quest, so if you do fall, you're just running through empty hallways. Just really? Oh, it was in front of me. Get out of here, Method. There's going to be a couple of traps. See these pillars? These pair, like there's 4 of them total. Sometimes they light up, and you have to kill everything before it'll drop the portal, or drop the wall. There we go.
Someone or something doesn't want you to cave
So, again,
to a second valley.
we're in one of these sections where guys are going to be raining arrows down on us. There are 2 giant levers we need to pull. I believe one of them is actually in the ravine. There's something in the ravine. Maybe it was just a bonus chest. I feel like it was a lever. We'll find out. I do not sense a lever down there, so maybe that's just bonus. So this lever opens this door. That's the lever we need to pull. This just opens the door again. So we're going to fight our way up this room. And once we get close enough, there we go. This is really air elemental. This one hopefully opens the door by itself, so I don't have to look for another one. This world will be shutting down in 10 minutes. Please log out. I forgot they were doing maintenance. Damn it. Are we going to finish in 10 minutes? Probably not. But we're going to try. In precisely 10 minutes, if you just get a smash cut to a slightly grumpy me, then no, we didn't make it. 10 minutes, that's not long. We're not even on the upper half of the quest. Thank fucking God that I didn't do the quest in a different order and we're not halfway through Coalescence Chamber. Oh man. Oh, that would have been bad. That would have been bad. Where's my lever? We gotta hurry. Oh, we have to do the whole wave fight still. Did they...
Twilight Valley has been scarred by an infernal portal.
When I logged in today... Okay, here's the guy, by the way. Gonna help him. Shut down this demon portal. This is the kind of wave fight I like. It all spawns at once, where each wave all spawns at once, and the next wave spawns as soon as the wave is dead. So I can just smush these guys down pretty quick. Especially once they stop summoning bats and summoning things that will actually stand close enough that I can cleave through them. Yeah, you're spiders. I don't want things that run away. I want things that gather up close so I can kill them faster. See, troglodytes. Troglodytes go down fast. Fast is good. We've only got a couple minutes. There's no way I'm going to make it. There's no way. It's not going to stop me from trying. I shouldn't even open the chest. Yeah, I don't care. Talk to the guy. Cool. So, we have to defeat the Mystics. They have they've got an Infernal Pact. It turns regular gnolls into evil gnolls. Why is... There we go. I was going to say, why is the door not open? Let's go. Did I actually get them all? Oh, man. It's too bad that has such a long cooldown. Alright, we're on the top. We need to kill all 5 of the Mystics, and that's going to open the door that lets us get to the boss. If we can get to the boss. I'm okay with having to wait until tomorrow to get the, stitch the last quest on here. I'm not stopping to fight things. I'm just bonking them as I go by. I need to go straight to each of the Mystics. I cannot afford to miss any of them. And I already haven't... I'm already not feeling great because I didn't find any up here. If they would have given me half an hour warning, which they probably did. I'm saying I only noticed the 10-minute warning. If I would have noticed a half an hour warning, I probably wouldn't have. I probably would have just waited till tomorrow to do this one. But man. You bastards. Come on. I want to say there's a Mystic around here. Nope. So we're on the upper ledges. We need to be very mindful of which directions we're going. 5 minutes, man. 5 minutes, and I'm not sure where they are. I'm sure we have to go through this door. I don't know if we're supposed to go through that door first or second. It took half of our time just to get up here. No, we went the wrong way. So that's where we need to go. That's the boss run. Where the hell are the mystics? You're never going to find them when you're in a hurry, right? Especially with... Oh, there's one over there. As the game is now reminding me every minute of my failures. Oh, there's another mystic. Unfortunately, even though there's only 2 left, they are in the next, like, the next room over. We have to go down there to get the other 2, and there's no 4 minutes. That is unfortunately not long enough for me to run down this hallway, kill the 2, run all the way back, and kill the boss. But it's gonna be close. 3 minutes? I got hit by Earth Grab and the Air Elemental at the same time. Only when you're in a hurry. Only when you're in a hurry.
You can clearly see the village laid out before you.
Okay, yeah, there's... I'm sure that there's a mystic down here. If I can at least kill the mystics and just kind of mindlessly rerun the quest up to the boss fight. There's a mystic dead. There's the other mystic. Okay. Gateway's down. If we would have come this way first, we might have been able to make it. 2 minutes. We're going to literally have only needed like another minute. Because unfortunately, it's not just a boss fight on the other side of the door. It's you have to protect the guy while running through like 3 rooms and then kill the boss. But you have to kill all the enemies as you go. We're going to get to the guy. Is what's going to happen. And then we're going to smash cut to me tomorrow. Back at the same spot. So there he is. There he should be. There he is. Okay. Obviously, didn't make it. That was damn close, though. As you will see now.
The back must be there.
Come on, die. Die. Fucking air elementals. Fucking air elementals. I mean, insert thing here that cost me 4 seconds, right? I was this close to getting that guy before the server shut down. Anyway. This does afford us an opportunity to talk about how you're supposed to do this section, because I just YOLO'd through it trying to beat the timer. What you should do, we need to protect Paytus. He's going to Leroy Jenkins his way down these hallways. You need to protect him. On normal mode, you out-damage everything and will probably kill everything, no problem. But just to be on the safe side, throw the elemental resists on him if you've got them. Any other defensive buffs you have. Just enchant this guy to lower the chances he accidentally, doesn't make it. I think most of my other stuff is self. Yeah, you can have protection from evil. And bless. That's all I got. Oh. And Death Ward. There we go. I actually cast Death Ward. So when you're ready, you can pull the lever. Door opens. And he's going to go sprinting forward. There he goes. The goal in here is actually specifically to kill more mystics. That gateway will go down when the mystics are dead. So you can kind of get away with not killing everything if you want to sprint like I was trying to do. But you have to kill the mystics specifically. Alright, making sure Paytas is okay. I'm actually even going to tell the hireling to follow him. It's not a huge little sprint. Like, I almost made it. This was my downfall right here. It's right here. I did not kill the air elementals. Because I was in a hurry. So we fought earth elementals and then air elementals. What do you think's going to be in here? More earth elementals. They didn't go full avatar. They didn't pull 4 different elements in. I mean, unless Knoll is an element. But like these archers up here, you can ignore them if you want. Just go straight for the mystics. The archers shouldn't be able to really damage Paytas enough to be of a concern. And it looks like they're all attacking me anyway, so yeah, I'm just going to move on and fight the boss, leave Paytas back there. I'm in here first, so everything's going to aggro on me. Stupid little tiefling. I mean, just look how fast he goes down, okay? I only needed seconds. Seconds. I will begrudgingly take my rock and my fungus. Don't even want anything else out of here. So we have ruined the pact between the Gnolls and the Devils. I don't know why us taking the contract does anything.
The Twilight Canyon extends.
Maybe the Gnolls can't read, so they need the magic one that's able to tell them what their job is.
Gnolls have established a new
No idea. We've only got one quest left out here. We've done the spiders, we've done the devils, we've done the Coalescence chamber, which is mostly bats. Ugh. Done the Gnolls, we got one left. And this was not where I expected to recall. Sometimes it puts you in the town. Sometimes it spits you out even farther away than... I started from inside the town. When you start from inside the town, it's supposed to recall back into the town. Vale of Twilight is going out of its way to be a pain in the butt. Still. One quest left. And it is probably the best quest out here. It is... I don't believe there's anything else in the game like it. They kind of... I think there's one quest that kind of played kind of with the idea of what this one's about to do. But they chickened out and didn't actually do it. So what we need to do is we need to climb this cliff. From from Meridia, we would have basically just run forward and we would have been in this little vale or valley section with some ruins. The quest is way up there on the cliffs. Let's turn left and see if the... Oh! He actually is here. We totally need this XP. It's very important to me that we get this XP. Because we're totally going to gain XP and it's not going to disappear into the Aether because we're already at max experience. That's not important. It's not terrible. Still going to leave it there. So to get up to the quest, we're going to go up this hill and then kind of go back and forth up the switchbacks to climb our way up there. Can I see the entrance from here? I think it's up there, but Q is not enough to target the door. Not from down here anyway. Scorpion-infested shrine. And there's our next ramp up. There's a lot of rare encounters really close together. That spot we just passed, not the shrine, but right before that, is another rare. If we were to have jumped down there, another rare. Probably not all there at the same time, but... How many rares are there total out here? 18? They're pretty close together. I have made runs to do all of these rares back in the day. If you don't have all the packs and you need XP and you don't feel like rerunning quests over and over, wilderness zones are great for XP. I don't do it because it takes longer than doing quests, and I have enough quests I can just do more quests. But if you don't have a lot, do the wilderness areas. They're great XP. A lot of them are anyway. Orchard and this one are pretty good. This quest is called Rainbow in the Dark, which is also a really good song that I like. It's about a rainbow in the dark. So we're going to take this radiant arc. It is an item that we must equip. I'll put it over here. It's a flashlight. I should cast my buffs. There are no lights in this quest. If I switch back to my sword to fight, we're in the dark. So I'm going to throw my sword over here next to the arc. Equip the arc so we can see. Oh no, we're under attack. Switch back to the sword. And we fight in the dark. There used to be the Favored Soul class has a little lantern archon that rides around on its shoulder. It used to be that was also coded to count as light. So you could get away with doing that. I'm actually going to go aggro all of these monsters at once instead of one at a time. That is a massive number of rust monsters. I have never seen that many of them in here. What the hell? We are in a little bit of trouble here. I forgot to cast my spell. That's awkward. So that's what happens if you come in here unprepared. So, I remember thinking, okay, wow, we got hit by so many rust monsters it broke our armor too. And so I can't use my armor until we get back to town to have it repaired. That's funny. So, we walked in. I picked up the arc, right? I started casting my buffs. And I was like, Holy Sword? I don't want to cast Holy Sword on that. And then I didn't bother switching back to my Great Sword to cast the Holy Sword. Or more importantly, Imbue with Shadow. Imbue with Shadow is what makes it immune to damage from rust monsters. The things we just got 8 of them, and I went kerbonk, and the sword just immediately broke. So, fortunately, we still have my Ferro Crystal Greatsword, and it's going to be good enough. And I did cast it on that one. Remember your rust monster weapons. Find something made of crystal. Find Muckbane or something. Sneaky. Higher levels, you don't think about it. I don't have to think about it. And then I didn't, so my weapon broke. Because I'm supposed to have the stupid Imbue with Shadow turned on. Anyway. In the darkness. This is very hard. So have a light. If you're in a party, only one person gets the flashlight. So they kind of have to wait for everybody else to keep up. Because only whoever has the flashlight can see. I'm going to read this journal entry. That opens a door for some reason. I can't see anything. But if I move my mouse over there, now we can. There's an Elder Beholder sitting there. But you know what else there is? I'm going to move the hireling out of the way. You can kind of just barely see a ladder here. There's pits. If I run straight to that thing, I fall in the pits, into spikes, and with the beholder shooting down on me. So instead, I'm going to equip my ranged weapon, and we're going to just plink at this thing until it dies. I rolled a 1 on Disintegrate. Nothing happened to me. Alright. Beholder's dead. Turn on the light. How did that put... Oh, because I already had the shield up. So just walking on the bridge. Back to sword. This quest... as long as your weapons are on the quick bar, it's not a big deal. It's kind of easier on a caster because the caster can just kind of go without its spell boost for a little while. So first you're going to want to turn left at that junction. We need a key. So we're going to run our way straight down this hallway. Yes, there's going to be things chasing me, but I'm on normal mode. So I can run to the end of the hallway and then beat everything up. And you can see in my little targeting window, there's a gelatinous cube back there. There's actually a couple of them in this quest, because of course, when you are running around in the dark, they're going to also throw a gelatinous cube in there for you to splat into. Another one of these spots with the bridge. They are randomly placed, I believe. Now, randomly within the confines of this pit. But the idea is you're not supposed to be able to memorize where that is. And we have found the randomly placed trap. There is a randomly placed teleport trap in this quest where you end up having to fight some elementals and the floor is lava while running around blind, right? Nice. I'm going to go ahead and up my fire resist just in case. I thought you only had to defeat the first 4 elementals, but I'm not sure how I'm triggering dungeon alert. Oh. Is it the hireling messing something up? There we go. I summon the hireling and the blue thing immediately shows up to take me out. And there's a cube waiting for me. this quest does not take prisoners. Alright, turn the light on before we charge that guy. Okay. We're right where we were before. So just continuing on down the ramp, follow around the corner, and we should be coming up on a cube, apparently. Hello, cube. Fine, I'll take these out while I'm standing here. Lights on. Should be coming up on a door soon. Here we go. Here's the door. You don't really need the light when you're on the inside of the next door, so we're just going to finish off all of these. Really? When? Finish off all these monsters real quick. I suppose I should be a little careful. Since our armor is gone, so is our fortification. So we are vulnerable to critical hits temporarily. So in the door, there is light. We're going to beat up a bunch of demons. And there's a key in the corner. There's also a named Orthon, if I remember right. I think his name's like Anthony or something. Yeah, I have... Oh, there he is. Agorthony. I don't know if they're going for Anthony or Agony or what. So once he's dead, Crest of the Scorpion, we can now take it. If you have Dimension Door, it's a little easier to Dimension Door back to the entrance and then run back to the junction instead of actually running all the way back through here. Just remember to get all of your party members through the Dimension Door before whoever has the light goes through. Because that's awkward if you separate the light from the rest of the players. I used to go through that entire first section that had the rust monsters in it. I used to go through that whole first section blind, just feeling my way along the walls, basically. It used to be how I did it every time, because I was like, oh, I can't switch my weapons all the time, and I was too lazy, just too lazy to do the weapon swapping. The weapon swapping is not hard. So we've now passed where we were a moment ago. We're on the other side of that junction. Ooh, we are taking a lot of damage, so I'm going to heal myself. So I don't know where Mr... I probably took a crit, is probably what happened. I'm not going to blame the hireling when I'm the one who doesn't have any armor on. Here we go. So there's the junction. We went all the way down there to get the Scorpion Crest. There's the entrance. So Dimension Door would have been, you have to go do the climb again. And then we're right here. Let's get the light back on. I want to say there's a shrine, but there's also another gelatinous cube right here. So just try not to purposefully run into the gelatinous cube. There's also... sneaky cube. I'm gonna say, do not open these secret doors. They just have even more cube behind them. Scorpions. Heading down. That hallway in front of us, potentially even more rust monsters. Okay? No, there it is. There it is. I'm using tab to target nearby enemies. I can kind of use the rust monsters and the monster, or the earth elementals, to see where I'm going. Just using tab to target them. Obviously, we run forward and kill monsters. In the darkness we go. Fortunately, we still had a great sword. That was very close to being a whoops-a-doodle. Walk back to Meridia, repair gear, walk back, try again. Which one of you threw the meteor? Is that you? Yeah, you die next. And then you have the blade barrier, so you go down. Okay. I believe we are at the next junction, yes. So if we were to go straight, big old spiky pit with some pillars. You can jump on the pillars. I'm trying to bait. There's a trap. I'm trying to bait it out. There it goes. It's a gelatinous cube. So that cube drops down on you while you're trying to jump through these pillars with spikes and everything in the dark. This quest does not care. And even if you make it across over there, you don't have the key. So we're going to go this way instead. So to left on the map, right if you're facing, watching from the quest.
A group of windlasher gnolls have settled in this area.
We need to go get the key before we bother jumping across the trapped pit. So again, kill everything, turn the light on. There's more of these pits where you have to find the correct bit to walk on to pass. And then back to the sword. Using tab to target enemies so that I know where I can walk forward to get them. Apparently I climbed up on something. And there is a key just sitting here. It's not even guarded. I can literally just grab it and run away. You know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to hit this guy with the scepter. Critical hit with the scepter as I ran by that guy. It doesn't matter that they chase you, because they cannot chase you over the pit. And we're through. There's going to be more gnolls on the other side. Make sure you summon your hireling to you, because the hireling is not going to be able to make the jumps. If you're a rogue, you can actually disable that gelatinous cube trap. Like, you disable a normal trap box like always, and it stops the roof from collapsing? Question mark. All right, we are at our last. Nope, don't want to break that. We are at our last junction. If you go right, there's a bunch of optional stuff that I've done once for the sake of it. You're supposed to go left. Also, the room where we stole the key, if you do kill all the gnolls, there's a boarded off cave in the back. You can go to the very back of it and fight a beholder just for optional XP. You can. I don't, but you can. I'm glad it's there. I like it when there's extra stuff to explore, because if you are doing this without having watched the guide, you don't know where you're supposed to go. I like that there's more than just a dead end. I hate dead ends. I want there to be something. It might not be the right something. I want there to be something. So the key opens this door, and we need a light. We have found the rainbow in the dark. Doesn't look like much of a rainbow, does it? Well, we're going to fix that. What's a rainbow? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Now we have a rainbow in the dark. Whoever has the stick puts it on the pedestal. Thank you. And we go fight the boss. After all of that, this boss is nothing. It's just a big fire elemental. I have 48 fire resist. I don't know if he can damage me because all of his attacks are fire. I took 2 damage. Ooh, 8 damage. I'm sure somewhere in my hundreds and hundreds of HP, even without my armor. So, big treasure chest. There are no named items in this pack. Not normally, because it's a crafting pack. All of the cool items are in that crafting system. Honestly, kind of sad. I mean, it's a very robust, complicated, deep system. But it's still crafting or bust, and you have to be doing the raid, or you don't get anything. You can follow the rest of this path around, and it leads up to a really high viewpoint, which is an explorer. I'm going to run back to town because I don't trust the recall to actually take me to Meridia. I'm going to repair our armor. Officially, that's all the quests. If you're just here to see the quests, that was all of them. There is the shroud. Pulling up my list to make sure I get them all. There's shroud and legendary shroud. So those are the raids. Those are the big raids. Those are the ones that... Old Shroud was the main event of the game for a long time. Shroud was what everybody did. Legendary Shroud had a lot of buzz around it. Everybody was excited to go back to Shroud. I don't know if people actually... I don't know how it turned out. I stopped doing raids way before they released Legendary Shroud. This pack also comes with 2 other raids, the Hound of Zoriat and Vision of Destruction, and an entire different area. Now let me double check to make sure that I say it right. What is exactly the thing? The Subterrane is also included in this pack. It has those 2 raids. That's it. No quests. But what's interesting about the Subterrane is it's a raid wilderness zone. It's expecting you to be traveling with 12 people, which is crazy. So these guys up here on top of the central building, they are your quest turn-ins. Alright, everything's repaired. I can put my armor back on. Hooray! And I can switch back to my normal sword. And we can sell these other swords that I was carrying. Anyway, these guys up here are the ones who are going to give you your quest rewards. You don't have to talk to them to get the quests, but they will give you a reward for having done them. What's deflecting? Oh, spell resistance. Sometimes they even give you a vegetable. I'm not getting any vegetables. One of you's got to give me one. Nothing? Maybe they got rid of it. We got 2 more chances. We got one. The mystical plant. We got broccoli. This guy's literally going to give us broccoli as our reward for having done that quest. It's for the crafting system. I don't remember exactly what thing it lets you craft. It's just there. I don't do the crafting. I have a crafting character, but I gave up on leveling crafting because it's too grindy. They did improve it. They updated the whole system. I just haven't been back. So maybe it's not as bad as it used to be. Okay. Once you have done all 5 quests, you go back to this guy. He tells you to talk to this lady in here. And she tells you to go into the Eldritch Chamber. So we're supposed to do... This is the tutorial for the crafting system for this pack. We're supposed to make Valeria's combination. She gave us all 5 items for it. We mix magically. Boom. We now have that thing. We can also... Well, let's go turn that in first. Hey, you. I made your thing. Now she says, go do it again using the 5 Shavarath stones that we got from the 5 quests. Not the one with the Death Touch gelatinous cube. Not the one in the House Deneth fortress. Those were added later. They are not part of the storyline. Well, they're part of the storyline. They're not part of this chain. The 5 from this chain, you make this Shavarath signet stone. That's the thing that flags you for getting into the raid. You get a minor reward, apparently. I thought she used to just give you like 2,000 XP. Once you have a bunch of the items, like down here, this is pebbles and the locust husk and the chipmunk funk, that stuff the crafting materials we've been picking up from all over this place. You make oils and stuff out of them, and eventually you can make what they call a green steel blank. So you make enough of those things from running around in these 5 quests, and in the rare encounters also drop them. You can make a blank weapon. It is literally blank. It is a +5 weapon, level 12. No abilities. But it allows you to craft onto it during the raid. You don't have to make a blank to do the raid. You just have to have made the signet stone. You can even then, I believe, use the signet stone to make a blank. Your character is still flagged. So I can run back to him now that we've talked to the lady, done her little tutorial. Sure, I'll take that, whatever that is. You must venture to the shroud, and I could. I can now enter the shroud. I'm flagged for the raid. I'm not going to do that, but we are flagged for it. Interrupting myself real quick, I forgot to mention why we go to the shroud. That's where all of the lore is, all of the payoff, and it's not just the payoff for this quest chain, but for 2 others. Every time we've chased that devil, Eritrakos, This has been his end game, was this ritual he's doing in the Shroud. So if we had done the raid, the Black Abbot over in Necropolis Part 4, we stopped the Black Abbot from ascending to godhood. But the resulting boom kind of knocked all the planes ever so slightly out of alignment. Kind of rattled them a little bit, loosened them up. No permanent damage to anything, and presumably they would kind of settle back into their normal spots. But while they're still wobbly, Eritrakos is taking those items that he stole from the other chain, the second one. His whole plan here, he's the one with the Codex of Infinite Planes, the actual, like, the binding. He's got the main chunk of it. Some of this was added retroactively, right? Because remember, this Veil of Twilight used to be the first pack. It was... all the other stuff has been added retroactively to fill in his past. So, original lore, Black Abbot blows up, knocks the planes slightly out of alignment. Eritrakos is trying to capitalize on that. So, the Veil of Twilight has all that nature and stuff because the plane of nature is basically, they say coterminous. I don't know if that's a real word or not, but it's manifest in the area. It's kind of a overlapping between the plane of nature and Eberron itself. That's why there's so much wild nature there. Eritrakos is trying to swap out Lamania. All 13 of the planes are in a line. It's just like from Hercules, the Disney Hercules movie. Once every millennia, they all line up, and you can change which plane is the one that lines up. His plan, as we can kind of see on the top right of the map there, was to make Shavarath manifest instead of Lamania. So instead of the nature plane, it's the devil's battlefield, and he can basically walk his army into Eberron instead of having to find planar gateways and stuff. So that's pretty bad by itself. When they added those other two packs, they added that he had the Codex of Infinite Pages. Why are all of the pages scattered all over the multiverse at this point? Because he tried to use it to become master of all of the planes. But it failed, and the pages blew up out of the book. So we're picking pages up. He's picking pages up. He is getting all these items and everything, so that Legendary Shroud slightly changes the story here. He's not doing a ritual to bring Shavarath in line so he can march his army. He's doing a ritual to rebind the pages to the book. Because as he's learned, he has to do the ritual in Eberron. Eberron being the central plane, and everything else kind of orbits it. His problem was he did it from one of the orbiting planes, not the main plane. So he needs to staple the book back together, try again. And that's Legendary Shroud. He took all those items from the, I forget its name. The one where we went and saved, like, the bears. The bear, the wolf, and the rat from the Druid hostel. The Devil's Planning or something. I don't remember. He stole all those items to help him punch holes through reality again and shake the planes loose again so he could try again. So that's the gist of it. We're stopping a devil from becoming master of all planes. Too bad we don't get to see it. That'd be nice, but that's what it is. All right, back to explaining the other raids, which are also because of that same Black Abbot explosion, by the way. What? So, Hound of Zoriat, one of those two raids, it's Maybar. There's a hole in the universe going to Maybar, and a giant Thrackhound wanders through. And the other one, Vision of Destruction, is another devil, just like Eritrakos. Also coming from Shavarath, just trying to invade from... He's trying to take advantage of another portal and sneak an army right underneath the marketplace and then erupt up and try to take over again. So, that's all of that lore. I remembered before I posted the video this time. Anyway, back to whatever I was doing. Let's see. Urgent, find me in Meridia. Thanks for keeping up there, game. So, to get out of Meridia, because we did all these quests, we'll talk to this genie here. He goes, boom, we're out. We're going to go poke our head in the subterrane. Just to have seen it. I'm not going to go very far because we're going to get killed very easy. That's the thing about raids. So we are, not only are we on normal mode, we are solo, well, with a hireling. Hirelings count as half a person. So the dungeons, as you go into them, will calculate how difficult to make things. If you go in solo, the game says there's one person. You're going with a hireling, it says there's 1.5 people. You go in there with a full team of 6, the game is going to scale all of the monsters' damage and their HP and everything to 6 people participating in that quest. Now, the trouble is, the raids don't have scaling. The raids expect 12 people. So this is the subterrane. So you can talk to this guy. This is the Hound of Zoriat raid giver. And here's the other one. This is Vision of Destruction. So these two raid guys, no flagging as far as I know. You just own the pack, you're good to go. 1, 2 raids. The subterrane is basically this big, heavily fortified sewer grate in the middle of the marketplace. Because remember when we did Chronoscope? This is where the devils were concentrated. How is my hireling still in the party? That was weird. Can't go on a raid with a hireling. Okay, but the hireling should have been gone. So anyway, that's the other thing, right? I cannot summon the hireling in a raid. This area is considered a raid, even though it has Slayer, rare encounters, explorers. Not that you can see any of the map. It's not a small area. You have got, like, I didn't even pick the quests up, but look, you can see that's a pretty big distance to the quest, and even more to this other one. Those are deep raids. I have done them each once. I did them once for the sake of doing them. All I know is this very first drop down here into the super ancient ruins. Because remember, Stormreach is basically built... Stormreach is an ancient giant city, and it goes way deep. This is like old giant relics that we have no idea how deep it really goes. This is the Underdark for Eberron. I was just in the comments mentioning that to somebody the other day, that I kind of wish they would play with this more. You could have basically your own Undermountain type dungeons just down here. It could go on forever as far as we know. I mean, we go, what's the first monster we find? A living firestorm. This is basically a spellcaster enemy Look how long it's taking me to kill one of them. Look how much damage I took. Right? One enemy. Because every single enemy in this area is geared for a full 12-man party to be rolling through here. It's expecting 12 people to be swinging at a time. I am not 12 people, and I can't bring my hireling. We almost got toasted to one generic bad guy. Scaling is real. Alright, so is Vale of Twilight worth buying? If you are a raider, if you are somebody who likes doing the 12-person raids, there's 4 raids in this pack. 2 wilderness areas, one of which is, as far as I know, the only raid wilderness area. I don't think the other raids got a legendary upgrade. They might have. I don't think they did. They didn't when I looked it up. There's 4 raids. If you like raids, this is kind of a slam buy. Especially because it's Shroud. I will say, in my experience, I liked running Shroud back in the day. Shroud was fun. It's got 5 stages to it. Each one is based on an old classic game. So, like, the first section is based on Gauntlet. And then they've got Pac-Man. Like, they legitimately have a Pac-Man themed level. And then Breakout, I think, is the name of the third one. And then you fight the boss, right? You fight the boss. He goes, "This isn't even my final form," and he backs up, and then you chase him and you kill him again. But yeah, it's a quest. Or it's a raid. It's quite a raid. I just kind of wish there was a soloable version of it. Give me Diet Shroud. I want Diet Shroud. It's what I want. I don't want to have to find 11 other people and hope that enough of them know what they're doing. As far as just the quests, though. Just the quests. We've got, what, 7? 7 quests is a decent amount. They're pretty unique. Right? These were generally not just run down the hallway and flip the switch. I hate Coalescence Chamber. This quest might as well be 6. This pack might as well be 6 quests, right? I don't do Coalescence Chamber. Running with the Devils is interesting. You fight enemies you basically never fight anywhere else. Rainbow in the Dark is the only thing like it. And Let Sleeping Dust Lie with the Don't Kill the Spiders. Nerve-wracking, but it does feel good to get to the end of that one and be like, yeah, I can kill all 4 of these spiders in the boss. I don't even care because I did a good job everywhere else. I like that there's little things I can... The little victories. I will say, though, that Coalescence Chamber, just by itself, that quest sucks. And even if you're not planning on doing the Shroud raid, skip it. Skip that quest hard. Hard pass. Stay away from it. Don't do that to yourself. And the Knoll quest is a little too long, considering that nothing happens in that quest other than you beat up a bunch of gnolls. Kind of just... feels a little pointless. It kind of stings that I had to do the whole thing twice, too. But at least it was a Coalescence Chamber. That's how bad Coal Chamber was. I had to redo an entire quest. And it doesn't bug me as much as the one run of Coalescence Chamber. But that's not all they had. They added those 2 other quests. And both of those are interesting. The fortress thing with the flying enemies, the puzzles to get the death cube. I like this pack, right? This is... If I'm being objective, okay, I like these quests. I have nostalgia for these quests. You really only buy this pack these days if you're either going to do the raid, because that's where most of the value here is. All of the items, all the attention is in these raids. Or you just desperately need something to get you from 15 to 20. There's not a whole lot of other reason. Most likely you're going to get Sharn, and you're just going to run Sharn on hard, and then possibly elite, and that's going to take you to level 20. But if you want to break from Sharn, you want some pretty landscapes, you want to do something a little different, this pack is fine. Don't avoid this pack, but it's not a high priority. It's too close to Sharn. Definitely pick this one up when it's on sale. I recommend you pick this one up. But it's not a priority. This one's fun. This one has a lot of stuff to it. It's a slam dunk if you're a raider. That's what it is. Alright. Let's... Oh. Speaking of Sharn, that's where we're going next. Sharn is humongous. Sharn is probably gonna have to be... Yeah, there's no way. Sharn's gonna have to be two videos. And my videos are long, right? I put everything in one video. There's no way that I can get through all the Sharn in one sitting. That's how big it is. There's I don't think I can do it. That's how big it is. It is... I don't think it's an exaggeration to say it is the single largest expansion in Dungeons & Dragons Online. It is huge. It has all the loot. Ugh. Next time. That's where we're headed. In preparation, for those of you who really just like to listen to me ramble, we're going to go get our levels. So if you are playing along, leveling up as I level up, and generally doing things in order, the rest of this video is just us preparing for Sharn. So, let's go get our last levels. That was interesting. So, as of today, a new update is live. The update added new archetypes. So there's going to be a bunch of druids and rangers and whatever the other one was. Don't care. I really want to play the new ranger. But not until Paladin's done. Advanced as a Paladin. Level 19 and 20, we ain't going to get shit. Click. There's my 1 point in use magic device. Next. That was all we got for level 19. Nobody ever takes level 19 unless you're a multi-class. You just stay 18 because it's not... because you don't get as many XP penalties from doing quests too far below your level. Doesn't matter these days. Doesn't matter. Advanced as Paladin. We get a point of charisma. We get... Okay, so here's something. Okay, we are never going to see this screen again. So there is no point in putting half a point in use magic device. You want all your skills to land on even numbers at level 20. So instead, I'm going to put that point into tumble. That 0.5 is not going to mean anything in terms of a roll. However, because I have a zero amount of tumble. When I fall off of something, if I don't have feather fall, I take significantly less damage. Just because the game can do that roll behind the scene instead of just saying, oh, well, you have no tumble, you take max damage. It's just, you only need 1 point. You don't even need a full point. You just need it to be not NA. As long as it's not NA, not available, the game will roll a die behind the scenes and you will not take as much damage from any and all falls. I could also put that, well, no, jump is a cross class. The only, what do we got? Intimidate, heal, diplomacy, concentration. Don't care about any of those. Yeah, it's definitely a point into tumble. And now, we're level 20. We're going to spend the last of our points. We're going to get our capstone. 4 extra charisma, 10 melee and ranged power, a bunch of other stuff, another die on every hit. My Aura of Courage now grants 3% bonus damage to melee and ranged to all of my allies. Yeah, there we go. That's a big deal. We're also going to take Redemption out of the Sacred Defender. That's going to give me the resurrection spells as spells that I can select and cast. So I'm not dependent on that 1 per day use of the Ring of Resurrection that we picked up. After that, probably just picking up Charisma, because I don't think I care about anything else we have access to. I mean, there's a couple of nice to have things, but I mean, this is all shield. I'm not using a shield. Yeah, we're just going to go Charisma, Charisma, and Charisma. Nice thing about the enhancements is if I do decide later, like, well, I don't want Exalted Cleave anymore, I can just reset the tree. Like, especially because we're at 43 points, right? I don't need 43 in the tree. I could take 2 points out of something I don't want anymore. I was honestly considering even getting rid of this top row altogether in a couple levels. I like Holy Retribution, but it's good. In Epic, it isn't as good. I like all this, but we can get our HP back right there and get some of those abilities instead. These are very flexible. You can change them whenever you want. The whole character should be like that, but that's a different topic. We are level 20. Rank 0. We are now in the epics. We're going to start gaining XP again. Very little XP relative to how much we need, but it adds up. But we are also going to go over here and talk to the epic trainer. We're never going to talk to the paladin trainer ever again. Once you're level 20, you talk to the fate spinner. She sends you here. This very pretty place. What she's going to say is go in each of these doors and learn about the epic destinies. So instead of doing our paladin trees, so there's, because I'm a dragonborn, I have this one, and here's my paladin, the Feydark we earned from Feywild. Instead, we're going to start playing with the epic trees, which, to play with them, first we have to go and introduce ourselves to the patrons. I don't know what these guys' actual title is. Divine Crusader. You click, I have unlocked Divine Crusader. Click, I have unlocked Exalted Angel. Click, I have unlocked Unyielding Sentinel. We're just going to literally... Come on, let me out. Let me out. We're going to go talk to all of them. And there is a reason to do it. There is a reason. So that was the divine ones. We're going to be taking a divine one. But the nice thing about this system is you get to pick 3 from any of them. Doesn't matter what your base class is. You can mix and match whatever 3 of these trees you want. So you're definitely going to go and unlock all of them. So these are the druid ones. So druid, barbarian, ranger, kind of. Specifically archer. Next one over is arcane. You'll never guess what's in there. Bard. Big old dragon that I don't remember there being a big old dragon there. Sorcerer. Wizard. They don't have one for artificer yet. They've been saying they were going to make one for a long time. Basically ever since the thing came out. This was not the door I meant to click on. Oh yeah, it is. Here's fighter. Rogue. Monk. Now that we have spoken to all of them, we can leave. Not going to, but we can. Why did I talk to all of them? Because we got 36 fate points for having talked to them and unlocked the things. So we have 12 of these points that we can spend on abilities, and we're only level 20. I don't actually want to spend them like that. I was just an example. Unlike when you started at level 1 and you had to go earn XP before you could spend anything in here, like you start your character, you don't get to pick any of these to start with. We get to start with 12 points to start in. That's a lot. Okay? That gets you all the way up to tier 3. 12 points. We can get deep in a tree with 12 points. It is not nothing. And then we're going to get more as we level up too. Just like we did when we were on the heroic levels, the 1 through 20. Every time this little bar fills, we fill up one of those little bubbles, we get another point. I think it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Is a lot. We're going to get a lot. So which ones do we want? Use the drop down. We can pick from any of these. I feel like Divine Crusader. Well, maybe we'll just keep it vanilla. Divine Crusader is the paladin one. The other two were the other two of this color are Exalted Angel, that's Favored Soul. And what's the name of the last one? Oh, Unyielding Sentinel. Divine Crusader, I guess, is the cleric one. Good thing I looked. Unyielding Sentinel is paladin. Unyielding Sentinel, you're the one who cares about shields, right? Throw your shield. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's going to stay over there. I think we want... What do we want? One of the biggest decisions you have to make is which tree is going to be your main tree. And I know that sounds obvious, but there's a major reason. All of these trees have what they call a mantle. You get one toggle on ability that gives you your biggest boost for that tree, and a bunch of the other abilities tie into that mantle. So this one, for example, is Angelic Form. You turn it on, you get your offensive spells, do some extra fire damage, blah, blah, blah. You can only have one toggle on. So if I were to take that and take the one in the Sentinel tree, I can't use them at the same time. I have to switch back and forth between them. No. We're going to go deep on one tree, and we're going to kind of splash into the other two trees. One of my favorite little 2-point splashes. 1 point into Unyielding Sentinel gives you die hard. So if you're under 0 HP, you don't have to roll to see if you die. You automatically stabilize. It combos okay with stuff that extends it from -10 to like -250. So it gives you a little bit of HP, but only in a bad situation. But it still gives 35 HP, 20 spell points, and 5 melee power. And melee power is basically plus 5% damage for us. And then, 3 points total. Sorry. Click. Divine energy resistance. This is great. One click. Area effect. All 5 elemental resists all at once. And it's 35 instead of the 30 I can cast. It's such a quality of life thing. I almost always will take this, kind of no matter what. Just for 3 points, the quality of life is amazing. The big question, though, is do I main Fury of the Wild, so the Barbarian tree focuses on a lot of two-handed damage, which is what we're doing. Or do I go into one of these? I know there's a Paladin tree. Holy Strike. Which one of you has Crusade in it? It's Sentinel, right? Renewal, Challenge. Is this it? Where is it? Primal Avatar. I guess the Divine Crusader is the one I was thinking of. See, there's a bonus to Smite. There we go. Maybe this is Paladin and this is also Paladin. I guess I thought they mapped more cleanly, but yeah. So Divine Crusader, I was right the first time. That's going to be our main tree. We're going to splash into Fury of the Wild to get some of that two-handed fighting goodness. And we're going to take this little dip right here just because it's a great quality of life thing. The cores give you the biggest boosts for your points. So especially when we have so few, I kind of want to just grab the free 5 melee power out of each of those. I will say I'm not a big fan of the Epic Strike in here. Just like the Mantle. So you get one toggle. You get one Epic Strike. They are big, powerful abilities. These are going to be your main attack from now on. It's going to go on button number 1. But they all share a cooldown. So taking the Epic Strike from different trees doesn't really help. Because using one of them will put all of them on cooldown. And I'm not really a fan of the Epic Strike out of this tree. It puts a big circle on the ground and it heals you and your allies, and then it kind of does some more stuff later. I don't like it. I don't like it. Especially not when we could use Adrenaline instead. Your next melee attack deals plus 25% damage and increases your critical threat by 16. What does that mean? What they're talking about is your critical threat range. Instead of going from 16 to 20, I will critical on a 2 to 20. 1 is an automatic miss. My critical threat range, every time I click Adrenaline, is going to be 2 to 20. We're even going to just crank that up all the way, I think. So it's now going to be plus 75% damage to our next attack. And it's not a swing. You click it, and it's got like, I don't know, a couple of seconds before your next attack. So we're going to start by, as we run into a group, we hit adrenaline, we hit cleave, and the adrenaline damage counts on every single thing we hit. It is not only a 75% increase to the damage, it's going to make the cleave also crit for triple damage. It's a lot of damage. Where's our mantle? We might as well get the passive thing going. Mantle's up here. That mantle sucks. Am I sure I want to go into half of the stuff up here? We already have. Crusade is pretty good. Gives everybody plus 10% damage. And so when we do our Consecrate, we can upgrade it into Crusade and damage buff all of our friends nearby. And then another later ability automatically deploys Crusade every time we do something. Where are you at? There's a way to automatically deploy. I think it's when you get hit. Every time you get hit, there's a chance to auto deploy it. It's still not an exciting tree until we get some of the better stuff. So, what do we got? Smite Evil. I'll take that. Okay, that's something. Smite Evil also heals other people in a little shockwave in the direction we swing. It's a little finicky, but it does technically work. We don't want Shield Bash. Attack and damage is kind of boring. Sunder is honestly a little tempting because Sunder is what our insta-kill Cleave uses for its DC. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade Consecration. Am I ever going to actively use it? No. But I believe that if I upgrade it, when we get later on the ability that it triggers for free, it'll trigger for free the upgraded version because I've spent the points into it. There we go. That's something. That's something. I'm going to jump into our Destiny tab right here, where there's my 3 new abilities. We'll put that over there, I guess. And we're going to just stick Adrenaline right here on button number 1. And we're going to put Divine Energy Resistance. Extend it for free. And I kind of don't even really need Energy Resist equipped anymore. I mean, look at this. Look at this. 1 cast. Boom. All of them. 1 shot. AoE. Gets the Hireling too. Love it. Love it. Don't need that journal entry. Get out of here. Don't need this one either. Adrenaline. Boom. We've got an 8... Oh, it lasts for like 10 seconds. You've got a pretty long wind up to use it. It's actually longer than the cooldown. So it's an 8-second cooldown and 12 seconds before it expires. So yeah, we're going to just click as we're running into enemies. We click this button to get ready, jump in, cleave. And they're going to take like over 300% bonus damage because we do triple damage because of the crit. Plus it already does like 75% extra damage. I don't know if that's before or after it's tripled, but it's crazy. it's going to be very, very good as we are running through Sharn. And then there's, it does okay healing, I guess, for the 10 seconds it lasts. Duration, well, it's obviously longer than 4 seconds. I don't really like that one. Plus it puts adrenaline on a super long timer. Because adrenaline is an 8-second cooldown. So it puts both of these on an 8-second cooldown. If I were to click on the other one, they both go on its cooldown, which is 25 seconds. It's no thank you. Alright. Last thing before we're done with our little prep work here. We're going to stick our head into this tavern and equip our spells because we got new spells. Because we took that enhancement, we now have the ability to cast True Resurrection, as well as Raise Dead and what's the middle one? Regular Resurrection. I usually don't bother with True Resurrection. The only difference is Regular Resurrection brings them back at half health. True Resurrection brings you back at full health. If you're in a raid or something, yes, maybe it makes a difference. But I would say being able to cast Death Ward by myself and Restoration for the handful of things that Remove Disease doesn't fix. Because none of the other spells really matter. Break Enchantment is cute. I've never actually seen Stalwart Pack to do its job. So we'll take Regular Resurrection. That'll be plenty good enough. It'll even just sit down here on the bar, just in case. And Remove Curse. Now, we have Remove Curse potions, but we also have Remove Blindness potions. Magic Circle against Evil. Because we have the potions, we don't need the spell. That's going to replace Protection from Undead, because it's literally the same spell, just AoE instead of single target. We don't need regular Raise Dead, but there's literally nothing else worth taking, so I guess we'll just equip it just in case we're low on SP. And I don't care about any of I don't care about any of this. Not at all. We'll take Cure Light Wounds on the off chance that we need to spam Cure Light Wounds on ourselves. Paladin spell list is the worst. Now, Ranger spell list is the worst. Paladin needs a couple more things. Well, it's hard to say they even need more things because they get some of the best buffs in the game. They're all just short duration self buffs. I'm going to put Death Ward over there because we don't need it right now because of the hireling. Alright. Done with the prep. Let's roll our silver roll and we'll be out. A potion of Death Ward. We are super protected against death. Anyway, I'm out of here. Tomorrow. Oh man. Oh man, tomorrow. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try to get Sharn done in one sitting. We are going to fail. It's going to have to be probably 2 videos just because it's so freaking big. But hell, I've been on here for over an hour and we did 1 quest. I'm out. Thank you for listening to me ramble. You have a good night, and I'll see you next time for the Masterminds of Sharn.